Hello and welcome back to Journey with Rebecca. My name is Rebecca and today I am in the kitchen and I am freezing peaches. Now I've already done a very large batch of these a couple weeks ago and I just took a bag out to show you. I have about 9 of these bags that I have already done, but I got some more peaches from work. I work on a farm. We have the most beautiful fresh peaches and I want to be able to preserve them and their freshness to be able to use them all winter long. So I'm going to freeze another batch today and I thought I would bring you along just to show you how easy it is to do. First thing you want to do is wash your peaches. I have all of my washed peaches right here, and then I'm going to be working in small-ish batches to about like 6 to 8 peaches at a time, and then you just want to take your peach and you're going to score an X in it right down the middle. Do that for all the peaches that you're going to put in your batch, because the next thing you're going to do is blanch them. That's going to help preserve the freshness and make it easier for these skins to actually peel off. So I'm just going to go ahead and score a batch that I will do first, and then we'll move on to what we do next. I thought about canning these peaches, but I actually did a huge batch of those last year. I have a video if you want to check that out. So I figured I would freeze them this year so I can use them in dishes this winter. All right, once your peaches are scored, you're just going to place them in a boiling pot of water. I like to use a ladle just so I'm making sure that I'm not splashing them down in there and burning myself with the hot water. Keep the peaches in the water for only about 60 to 90 seconds. This is just going to help preserve the freshness of the peach, like I said, and make it easier for the skin to peel off. Then you can transfer your peaches right into an ice bath. You want to stop any cooking process when you're doing this, and also this will help cool the peaches down so you can handle them. Okay, my peaches are cool enough now to touch, so I can go ahead and peel the skin. This is where scoring the peach skin comes in handy, because now you can just take it and literally it just peels right off. I have my handy compost bin here that I'm going to put the pits and the skins into. Once they're all peeled, I'm going to cut them up and we'll go from there. Also, if your peaches don't peel very easily, you can always throw them back in the water, blanch them again for a little bit longer, and see if that helps loosen up the skin a little bit. I have peeled all of my peaches. Some of them were a little bit more difficult than my last batch, and I think it's just because they're not quite as ripe as my last batch was. And another thing I wanted to mention, I like to keep a towel right underneath my cutting board, because this can get really, really messy and juicy, especially when your peaches are really ripe. So now that all of the peaches are peeled, the next thing I'm going to do is just slice them right into a bowl. It's really up to you how big you want your slices to be. Typically, I do something like this this will be good for whatever I plan on using them for. If I want to use them in a pie or a tart or a cobbler, or even if I'm making like a baked oatmeal. So I'm just going to go ahead and get all these sliced up. And typically what I do when I'm doing this is drop another batch of peaches into my blanching water while I'm working on my first batch. So I just make sure that I don't over blanch them, because I'm not trying to cook them. I'm just trying to blanch them really quick. So what I do is I will, keep track of them, blanch them quick, throw them in my ice bath, and have them ready to go, so that when I'm done with my first batch, my second batch is ready to go and I don't have to wait for them. So I kind of like just make a little bit of an assembly line, so I have everything going and I don't have to wait. Now my pit is all set to just go in my compost bin. If you don't compost, I highly recommend it. So I'm just going to keep going here and slice up all of these peaches. Next thing I'm going to do is take just about a tablespoon of sugar, add it to the peaches, and just mix them in, and then I'm going to add them to my bag. I am using a food saver. If you don't have a food saver, that's fine. You can just put it in a regular freezer bag. So I just like to flatten my peaches out so they stack nicely once they are in the freezer, and then I'm just going to let the machine do all of the work for me. Like I said, if you don't have one of these, that's fine. Throw them into a freezer bag that you've labeled and get all of the air out and just freeze it flat in your freezer. Okay, the bag is all sealed now, and you can see how there's all this juice in there. I like to just take a paper towel and wipe all of that out because I don't want to be freezing all of that yuckiness in there. So typically what I do is actually just run it right under the sink. Because it's sealed now, I don't have to worry about it. But this is my first batch. This is a small batch that I'm doing today, so I'll probably only get about 3 more batches. But I am all done processing and sealing the peaches in their freezer bags. I only got 3 batches out of this. I had a total of 22 peaches. I got 9 bags out of the last batch of peaches that I froze, so you can imagine how many peaches that was. It took hours. I had 2 pecks of peaches that I processed and froze, but now I have these for winter for my whole family. I've been working on stocking my pantry, and this is not pantry, but it's freezer food, and now whenever I need peaches, I can just go grab them and use them for any recipe that I'm looking for. Now the only thing left to do is throw these in the freezer and clean the ginormous mess that's behind me. This is a messy job, I will say. The floor is very sticky right now because I'm not really clean when I do this, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you give freezing peaches a try so you can seal in that freshness and enjoy them all year long. If you did, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to share and subscribe, and I will see you soon. All right, so the bag is sealed, and what I like to do is, the bag didn't seal. Just kidding.